Hello, everyone. Hope you're well. I'm feeling slightly awkward today. I know what I want to talk about, but I'm getting like sentences in and then going, oh, that wasn't right. So hopefully I'll be nice and fluid for the rest of this because this is like my fourth attempt to start. Had a great weekend visiting my sister, niece, and brother-in-law in Wakefield. We went to my niece's sixth birthday party. She had like a nightclub birthday party type thing where they were in a room with music and mocktails and party games and like a DJ playing songs and an ice machine and stuff like that. It was very cute, and the boys had a great time. Emily was far too cool and just sort of sat with the adults and chilled. But no, the boys were good, and it was interesting, kind of doing the whole thing with Ollie and making sure he was okay for the loud music. I'd learned a few bits, like I have songs that I literally can't listen to. I can't abide them. I have to leave, and until recently, I've always thought that was just an odd me thing, but I've obviously learned now that it's not. Oliver has the exact same thing, which is interesting. The Macarena came on and he made for the exit and was like, cannot stand this song. He was like, I just can't hear it, can't listen to it, I hate it so much. And he was like, they keep putting it on at school and I have to leave. And I was like, that's fascinating, because I did not know he had that feelings about the song. But that aside, it was just lovely. It was nice. It was fun. As I say, knowing what we need to do to keep everything smooth is great. A couple of times I said to Claire, do you know what? I reckon I would have stayed in the room, got hit up, and been annoyed later on, or Ollie would have been encouraged to stay in the room, and then he would have felt overloaded. But things felt a lot smoother. It was very calm. It was very nice. We stayed in the hotel and we were all pretty calm. We talked to the kids beforehand, and yeah, it was just generally good. I felt a little bit awkward that I assumed they'd have a plug by the bed and they didn't, and I couldn't plug in my breathing machine, and but the lady behind the counter absolutely panicked, bless her. It was so sweet how much effort she put into trying to help me out. So they got me a lead and it was all good. It worked out. But it was one of those where I was just like, I never even considered that there wouldn't be a plug by the bed. They had like little USB ports for phones, and I guess it's to stop people plugging in their own like whatevers. But yeah, it was a nice weekend. We were all chilled out and everything. I think the main thing that I was kind of following outside of being there, and the main topic of the video, is that we've done the Autistic Comic Takeover event that I've been talking about, and we're doing the Autistic Creator Festival on the group I'm in, the Discord group I'm in, and our comic came out on the 1st, which was what, Friday? Yeah, Friday, which I did a little message about it on here. And yeah, it's been really fun following it all, because we kicked things off with the comic that I'd written with Bex about the diagnosis process, basically, and just how people get diagnosed through the ages, and from like naught to adult, and what you can do if you're a kid and what you can do if you're a student and that kind of thing to get support. And it's gone really well. Like I feel like we're both a bit kind of like, it didn't, the tweet didn't kind of explode as much as we perhaps wanted. It's had I think about 2,000 likes and about just under 1,000 retweets. So if you haven't retweeted it, go and retweet it now. Stop everything, pause the video, go retweet it. But otherwise, I mean, the feedback, the response has been absolutely lovely. Like the amount of people who have got in touch and said, this is so helpful, this is so important, this is so useful. There's bits in there where they feel like, yeah, that really hit with them. And yeah, people just loved the characters, the way, the ideas. It was lovely. It's nice getting good feedback. I've also really enjoyed what I wanted to focus on more. I wasn't trying to just do a video to toot that, but the other people who got involved in this, there was lots of us, and I've been retweeting either so there's like 44 word, I want to say poems. They're not all poems. They're either stories, statements, poems. The 44 word segments, and it's up to you what you do with it. I've got to write mine yet. Mine's due the 26th of April. I keep saying May, 26th of April. I've got 21 days to write it. My maths was terrible there. 21 days to write it. I'm kind of bricking it a bit because I obviously am on there under the pretense of being a writer. And so everybody else is writing theirs and they're doing a really good job, and I'm there going, right, mine needs to be extra good. I mean, not that it's a competition. I'm just thinking I need to write something good, and I can't. I've put a few things up, and the response has just been not silence, as in they've ignored me, but like I've not had any feedback, and I'm like, well, now I don't know what to think. So because I'm me, I'm like, okay, that must mean it's not very good. I'll write again. So I've rewritten like several times now, which is silly. But other people's stuff has been fantastic. So if you follow me on Twitter and you're thinking, Jesus, Sheepdog, give it a rest, you've only got another 25 days of this. It's well worth following because it is great. People are putting out comics where I keep feeling like I've never articulated certain things before, or it's not something that's a current because my life's a bit weird at the moment. I'm at home. I don't really go out that much to do anything. I'm not in any uncomfortable. I've got my environment quite down to a T, and I'm quite satisfied with that. And so some of this stuff I'm reading, and I'm like, God, that was such a big problem for me a year ago, or 2 years ago, or in the past, or growing up, or a lot of it's problems I've got now, or the amount of empathizing with it, and I'm like, okay, that's definitely. Someone put one out where they were talking about how they found it a lot more comfortable to have online friends, to do online interactions. It helped them learn how to interact in person. And I was just thinking to myself, like my entire teens and early sort of 20s, and even now, it's like it is so much easier to make online friends and crack on and talk to them all the time. And I honestly remember the amount of times my friends would get upset that I'd spent all my time on my phone, or we'd go to a nightclub and I'd be there on my phone texting people that weren't there, just having a chat with them. And it used to drive them nuts, but it was because it was just was a comfort thing. It was a having those social friends thing. It was just lots of reasons. So seeing someone write a comic about that and talk about how it really helped them, I'm like, okay, that makes me feel less weird, because there's a lot of things on there that I've felt weird about that I've never really talked about, or never really gone, it's not that weird. Never had a reason for it either. So being able to say, okay, it wasn't that weird, it was this, or there's other people like me here, it's been really nice. It's really, really helpful reading other people's perspectives and thinking that is I feel that that's exactly how I have had my life. So that's been awesome. And just seeing other people's perspectives that I haven't necessarily felt. And I'm like, okay, now I kind of understand someone else who I've spoken to, or something, something else about someone. There's been a lot coming out, or there's some coming out over this week where I'm like, I've had that exact conversation. And there's one that I'm literally about to retweet because it was released like as I was hitting record. Where it's about labels. And I remember when I was telling my mum that I was going to go and get a diagnosis sorted, she was like, why would you want a label? And I didn't really have a concise, solid answer for her. I didn't really have anything to say in terms of why. I was just kind of like, look, I want to know. I want to know if that's the explanation more than anything. I want to be able to say, is this what it is? It seems likely. Let's confirm it. I wanted a professional to say no, and then I'd be like, okay, now I don't know where I stand. Or a professional to say yes, and be like, damn it, of course, I knew it. I wish I'd pursued this earlier. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I said there, they went the way that I thought it would go, and confirmed, which is great. So this comic coming out is talking about this label and how people have said that to them, and they always felt like they were getting labelled anyway. They were always getting labelled as odd or rude or whatever it was, and being able to kind of go, okay, this is the overarching label that explains all of this is powerful and important. And I read that the other day, and I was like, bloody hell, like. There's a few on here. I'm not going to wave it in my mum's face and say, why did you say you? Because I'm not annoyed about it. I get why she said it. I understand completely why she asked why I would want to get a label sorted. But being able to say, this is a good explanation as to why it is powerful and it's useful. I'm really hoping it will help other people. It really made me feel better about the fact that I had that reaction myself anyway. The bit I wrote about diagnosis, and I had a joke in there about how the adult tells a doctor they think they're autistic, and the doctor in my comic goes, I believe you, and I'm going to go and sort you out a diagnosis. We'll talk to the right team. And we put a little jokey caveat saying, this is a perfect doctor, your mileage will vary. And I was like jokingly saying, I might just send that to my doctor and say, like, this is you being an obstacle in my life rather than just doing what this doctor said, because it's none of their business whether it's one way or another. It doesn't affect them, but it affected me. It slowed me down by like 6 months, so it's been fun reading them. Not all of them. I'm going to retweet all of them because I'm in the team. I want to support everybody. I want to make sure. So not all of them are going to be like ones where it's specifically about me or something that I have felt. So I don't want people sitting there going, oh, I didn't realise Sheepdog felt that way. Not all of them are like that. But a lot of them are really hitting home. And it's been really good for my kind of mindset, my mental health, or whatever the word would be, to just sort of be able to read that and go, okay, there's lots of people who think like this. This has been really, really helpful, or just articulating things better. I've had a couple of times where I've explained something to Claire a bit better, and she's kind of gone, okay. And I mean, I'm sure she's bored of hearing it now. And I'm slightly worried that I'm talking about it a lot at the moment, but I do feel like it's been one of those kind of weeks. It's been just odd periods. I don't even know how long I've been rabbiting on about this, but it just feels like it's been a really positive time for just understanding myself a bit better. And yeah, I didn't expect that. I kind of just thought that I would get told, yep, that's confirmed, and I would just use it for the future to just think about things and be a bit like, okay, you know, walk out of the party when it's getting a bit hectic, stand out for a minute, calm down, don't go off, getting upset, whatever it is, just be aware of things. But this has kind of gone beyond that and gone, okay, a lot of that stuff that I was beating myself up about from the past is like, or used to beat myself up about, but I haven't for years. I can kind of calm down about that now and feel a lot better. So I mean, yeah, if you think you would benefit from a lot of this stuff, I really recommend checking out the tag. We've got, it's all kind of under the Autism Acceptance Month umbrella. I wanted to make sure I got the words right. But our tag is Autistic Comic Takeover. And then there's 44 words, and there's a color one that I've been sharing, but I've not taken part in. I can't remember. It's something like infinitones, something like that. I can't. My brain can't process the word. I read it constantly, and I'm just like, I don't know what that says. Like my brain just refuses to read it. But that's been funny. That's been good. Sorry, and funny that I can't read it. But yeah, no, I feel like I'm having a good week so far, and it's not even, I mean, we're not even a quarter of the way through the event, and it's just lovely seeing everybody's work. People have been sharing them in there early, and I'm just super impressed. Like, I mean, I'm sort of, it feels weird being surrounded by so much talent. Like I've said this in the past, like it's just, my life always feels like I'm constantly surrounded by people who are outstanding, and I'm just like, okay, need to up my game a little bit. And yeah, it's been fun. We're still working on this game jam that I mentioned before. I can give a bit of insight about it now, I think, because we had a chat, and I wanted to straighten it out. We're writing a sort of a choose your own adventure story as part of this jam. And the idea is to kind of cover that how something really simple like going to the supermarket is quite challenging for autistic people because of all the different things that can overwhelm you. And so the idea is that you as the player will navigate through going to the supermarket and going down each aisle and picking what you need to pick, but all the things that could occur will occur in this game, and you have to try and figure out how to navigate it. And it's been quite fun just writing it out. I've got till the 7th to write the whole story, and all I've really done so far is written probably about 600 words that are like choices and stuff like that. And I need to spend some time tonight just hammering through it to get something across. I need to get like a first draft across by the 7th, but that's been really cool. I'm writing my 44 word thing. I keep writing things about like, because I've been doing the vlog and it's all been about Ollie's diagnosis, and then that's led to me finding out about mine. I've been trying to write something nice about that, but it all comes across a little bit so I'll figure it out. I might have to change track and change completely what I write. I was thinking about the vlog on that day that I'm due to release it being me reading it, but I also feel like that would be the most wangy, self-indulgent thing I've ever done. So feedback on that in advance. If you think you won't judge the heck out of me for doing it, I'll do it. But I don't want to be sat there reading word 1, word 2, word 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to 44. I just feel like it's a little bit CBeebies bedtime, isn't it? But then, to be fair, I could send it to the BBC and get on CBeebies bedtime, and it could be a real moment of boom. That's it. I'm now the person who reads random little stories out on TV. So who knows? I'm waffling a bit here, but yeah. Long story short, I guess I'm just really enjoying this takeover. I'm glad I've taken part in it. It's something I needed anyway. I think just taking part in something cool. It's made me also think I need to start setting myself little goals and things again. I was having a conversation with someone earlier about how, I mean, this was a completely side track, not really related, but they were talking about how they'd set a goal of taking their niece and nephew to some event thing before they were a certain age, and I was saying how I wanted to take Emily to Disney before a certain age and made that happen, despite how expensive it was and everything. And I sort of think I need more goals that aren't like that. I need more creative goals. I need more minds goals of just things I want to get to. And then once you've got a goal, you start figuring out how to get to it. You start measuring how you're going to get there, what you're going to do, what you need to do. I feel like I need to start setting more of that. But this has been a really healthy month for that. And I feel really positive about it. So I'm very grateful that I got a chance to be involved. And I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you don't follow me on Twitter already, it's at RB6K, and you should. And yeah, you should check out our stuff because I'm really impressed with it. I've not seen any at all from any of the sharing where I've thought, nah. They've all been perfect. It's all been great, and that's nice. Again, that's really nice. It's just really cool. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up there. Hope you're all well. Let me know how your weekend went. Let me know how your week's going. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know your thoughts on the stuff you've seen. Please go and give it a share. Just hitting the retweet button makes an infinite difference. It really does. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch up with you all on Thursday. Have a good week. Cheers.